So the subject of this video is going to be why I trade, invest in the tickers I do. The major reason is because of stress level. So today we're going to be doing UPRO, and UPRO follows the S&P 500. And when I say that I trade these because of my stress level, is because if I buy at the wrong spot, I know that eventually it's going to go back there. I am more likely to average cost these particular ETFs. Let's say this here, which happened in 2022. So if it started here and you bought up here at $77, and that was January 2022, then you would come down and let's say right about here when it hits this support line, that would have been August 2022. So that would be 8 months where you would be sitting there, but you're not spazzing because this is following an index. And unless you think America is going to go to zero, you know that it's going to bounce back eventually. So you're not really stressed. Of course, this could have been this. Yeah, this could have been that split now that I'm looking at it. Let's see. So what we're talking here. January 2022. Let's go over here to the actual index. Let's go on monthly because that's where we're on the other one. I'm not even sure what I was doing there. So, all right. So, yeah, it went down January 22. Yep. So that wasn't just that split. That was from 2022, and that went straight through till August, September of 2022. So this is the S&P 500. All right, and this is UPRO. And we pretty much did the same thing here. Yep. So you can see that these two do follow along with each other. So the reason why I trade this stock is because of stress. The stress is taken away because I've had too many times where I've done just regular companies and they will reverse split on me, or they'll have good news come out for a while and it's starting an uptrend and you're like, okay, let's get into this and let's go make $1 million, which I never say because I know I'm not going to make $1 million, but you know, so you get into it and then all of a sudden, as soon as you get into it, bad news comes and it falls off the cliff. And then you start praying to the trading gods, please bring it back up. And it might do a little bounce and you start getting a little hope, and then it just falls off deeper into the abyss. And so I've learned, why am I doing this to myself? Why trade like that? I mean, all you're doing is making yourself upset. So I had to really reassess, do I want to stay in this game or not? If I don't want, if it's going to make me upset because I'm losing money, you know, you have a couple good trades, you make a couple bucks, and then you have this really horrible trade that wipes you out. Well, it didn't wipe me out, but I mean, I'm just saying that it's not something I wanted to do. This to me is fun, and I wanted to keep it fun. I love to speculate on these on where the market's going. That's what I find fun. So anyway, that's why I trade the stocks that I trade. I will be doing one a week probably, unless I find more time. But I do work. I have a job, so it's not like I'm sitting around looking at charts all the time. Okay, so we're in UPRO right now. We are going to put a horizontal line at the top. We're going to put a horizontal line at the bottom. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go all the way down there. We're going to put our horizontal line here. All right, so let's go in. I mean, you can do whatever you want here. All right, we're just going to put all-time low on that one. Monthly all-time high. And we're going to put, or I'm going to put, when did this hit? 12/20/2024. Okay, and now let's go out. Now, if you were with me last week, you kind of know the procedure we're going to go in. We're going to click it here where it touched the bottom, and we're just going to bring her on up. I'm going to go back to yellow, and I'm going to put monthly again. Go away. And where did that hit? 3/20/20. Am I still in there? Change interval. No, we're not doing that. Don't know why that came up. I'm going to double click that. We're going to go to yellow. And so we're going to go bull, bottom. And that was 3/20, right? Because that's... All right, what happened? Oh, there it is. Taking a second. All right. All right. And I think that's all I'm going to do there. Let's go over to the weekly and check her out. All right. I went really slow on the first video. I'm going to try not to go as slow on this one because I want to get into some Fibonacci. All right. And that would be our high. Now, one thing I do want to explain here. I mean, for me anyway, you could go here and you could go to the first one. I mean, all right. So what you're doing here is you're latching onto that first bump, right? So let's do it again. I'm going to take these off. I'm just showing you something. All right. You can go out here, right? And you're going to the second bump, and this is the third bump. Now, look how this is respecting. Boom, and it goes right through that, hits there, and then starts up. Look how this is respecting. You go straight across here, it goes down and hits off of this line, comes down and start, well, let's see. Yep, here you go, right here. Still respecting it over here. Okay, it went up, went down, and bounced off of this. Went up, went down, bounced off again. Okay, I just wanted to let you see that. You could actually take these and go to the first bump and go across. All right, then you could take it again, go to the next bump, right? I'm going to take these off. I just wanted to show you that. All right, so we have an upward channel here. Oh. Let me get in here, and we're on weekly. And this is a pull top. All right, and when did we latch this on? 118. Okay, and I'm going to go into the daily to do these trend lines. All right. Now, again, the same thing I said before, right? You could latch it to the first down. Here's the second down, which truthfully, you should probably leave that one there because it's going right through all your tradings. It's going up and down there. I am not going to do that. I'm going to put it the lowest. Only because I'm trying not to have a bunch of lines. All right, so now we're going to go into daily. And this is a bull, and we're going to call this a bottom. And we are going to, where did this start? 1023. Okay. And I'm just looking at. All right, let's go here. All right, so let's say you're looking at it, and let's say it's right here at this point. And you're trying to figure out where that's going to go, right? Well, if you latch it from here to, let's bring it down to there first. Let's bring it down to here. So if we bring it down to here, let's open that up a little bit so you can see it. You could, if you wanted to see and make this like a month or two trade, all right, and it hits down here on your bull bottom, because normally you're going to bounce off of a bull bottom. Normally, unless it decides it wants to break it and go down. It can go either way, but I'm just saying, majority of the time, especially when you're dealing with the S&P, it's going to bounce off. Bounced off here, bounced off there. Might be a little low here. All right, and so it comes down, bounces off here, and goes up. Where is it going, right? I mean, that's one of our questions that we might ask. Where is it going? So let's say you're right here. It bounces off your bull bottom. What am I going to do? So let's take a little Fibonacci in here. And let's say, all right, we're up here at this, you know, this is a support right here. Why is it a support? Because you have all these touching it, right? Got quite a few going right through it. So let's say we're right here. And we're going to go down to here. I'm going to open that up so you can see it better. All right, so you want to latch this up to the first strong green candle. So we got up here, down to here. So I want to trade this. Now, by rights, for me, I would look at this and say my end point would be probably here. If it's a really strong up and it's not going to do a retracement, this is your place to go in at. And I would have missed it. And I'll be honest, I would have missed it. My ideal place to go in would be either this line or this line. So in other words, I probably would have missed that because my entry would have been not right. But anyway, so let's say you went in here and you want to know, okay, where do I sell at? Well, first thing you could do is latch this going across because it's hit 1, 2, and it's probably going to hit here. But let's say you want to do a longer trade than that. You will see, goes up here and it trades here. Goes up to this one, 2.618. That's your second up, your second leg up. And if you've noticed, the rest of the traders are doing the same thing, right? Because it's hitting this up here and they're selling, they're taking profits here. And then they're buying it back up and going to the next leg up. And again, they're taking decent profits here. You know, this one here is funny because it went right here and then popped up overnight. It looks like, yeah, we're on the daily. So it popped up overnight. And then once it gets up here, it doesn't quite know what to do because there's no more lines left, right? And that's just what it seems like happens. I don't know if that's what happens, but it goes up here and it comes down. So let's take a look. Let's get rid of that. And let's look at something else. Let's look at this one. Let's see what this does. All right, so this one has a down. And let's latch it from the top to the bottom of that particular down slot. Let's see if we have any respecting. Wow. Okay, so you got this right here. And it went right up to the top. I mean, a safe bet would be, okay, I bought here because it started going up. My stop loss, if you were to do a stop loss, which, you know, the whole reason for me to trade these is I don't do stop losses. I buy very small, I only buy a couple, and I let it run. I let it run its course. And if it does go down, I average cost. I'll buy a little more at the bottom where I think the bottom might be and average cost it. And that's just how I trade. You trade however you want to trade. All right, so we go right here. And let's say you buy it in here somewhere. You're like, I don't know. Is it going to go up or is it not going to go up? Safe trade would be, let's say you bought it here at 62. The safe trade would be to sell it in here somewhere at 70. It's an $8 up. That's nothing to laugh at. That's pretty good. You know, if you're more of a gambler and you want to see if it goes up to that other line, to 79, you know, let me just check this out for a minute. All right, it hit up here to where it started, and you notice how people were selling there, right? It hit here and people took profits because they bought it down here. And all right, why did they buy it down here? Let's ask that question. Why was that our turn spot? That looks like a good question. Why was that a good turn spot? Right here. Right here. Let's take this down here for a minute. Yep, That's why that was your turn spot. Because that right here was your first good leg up. Right there, or even right down here. All right, because that's where your leg up was going. That's where your upward trend, your heavy upward trend started. And where is this? This is your buy-in. This is where people put their limit orders to buy it back up. So they sell up here. They're taking their profits up here. They're putting their Fibonacci's in, and then they're buying at 0.382. You know, sometimes they do it up here, but I mean, majority of the time, this is normally a good buy-in where they will, you know, you'll probably go up. And you're rather close to that bull bottom. Of course, I think we're close to it because I think I latched onto it. Yep, that's why. All right. All right, so we have that, and you can see why it turned at that particular spot. So now, let's just go in here for a minute. No, let's leave that. Where were we? Yeah. Let's leave that in there for a minute. Because if you leave that in there, people are still trading off of it. That particular line. All right, because there's your turn, 1.618. Remember I told you that, you know, this is normally a take profit area right here. And looks like they took all their profit. So, I don't know. There was probably some economic thing going on at that point, which is what made it drop like that. I don't remember. All right, so let's see real quick. Yeah. 1224. It's hitting that all-time high and having trouble breaking through it right now. But that's okay. Let's take that off of there. So I just was putting that on there to show you some of the Fibonacci stuff that I've learned through the years. You know, I'm not going to be completely correct all the time, but I'll show you what I can. So let's take a little look. Oh, this right here. I was just showing you something. I didn't really want to keep that. Okay. I'll show you this. So let's go to the next leg up. And we'll go across. Yep, they're still bouncing off of that. Let's go to the next leg up. Go across. It's just something that you yourself, when you're analyzing these, you can just kind of do this. Take it to the next leg up and see what's going on with it. It's respecting it. Take it to the next leg up. So, take it to the next leg up, and that's where it turned. Of course, it turned there because of the tariffs probably, but, you know. And right here, we talked about this before. This is going to be a, you know, pivotal place between here and here. We have been going on this bull channel since, you know, 2023, October. You know, it might be time for a breather. We could look over here, April 2020 to December 2021. And then it decided to take a breather. I don't think it's done yet because I think it's going to hit not until it hits this line, my personal opinion. You know, usually they hit 3 times. So if we go like this, and just bring that out a little bit, and then bring this up a little bit. All right, there's our little circle can go in there. Say, all right, there's our target, right? Might break through earlier and hit it, you know, but as soon as it hits this line, I would be looking for it down. I would be looking for the breather. You know, it might, or it might not. I don't know. You know, these markets have a mind of their own. So I bought, yep, I bought 2 in here yesterday. So I bought 2 of those. Where am I? I bought it after I had gone to work. And I believe I had bought it about right here. Yeah, right here, 90, 83, somewhere in there. I know it was in the 90s, so hopefully it'll get rid of the scare of the tariffs and it'll keep going up, hopefully. Let me show you another thing with the Fibonacci. So here's our high, and we go here to our major, our good candle up, right? And again, so this was a nice upward motion. It's hitting this that we had put in. All right, this is going to be a turning point because we see it as a turning point. This is our bull top. Let's see, I didn't put a thing on there. Haha. Yeah, so this would be our bull top in the channel that we have created. So we're going to assume it's going to turn here, right? So we're going to put a Fibonacci in. We're going to go down, and we're going to say, okay, a good buy-in is going to be at 0.382. All right, now that is something where we could look at this and say, all right, put a limit buy-in. It's up here. Let's just put a limit buy-in and leave it and see what happens. All right, because you're not going to, truthfully, you're not going to buy up here, right? I have before and I've regretted it, but I'm just saying, you're not going to buy up here because you're already at the top of that. You're touching that top of that channel right there. You're touching it. So most likely people are going to sell. If I would have listened to myself, I could have bought here at, I mean, I never put it exactly on the line. I always put it a little above. So I would have put it at like probably 89.85 or 89.90. And then I could have waited for it to come back and almost touch this top, which would be about $10, right? That would be close to $10. But again, I never, when I put a limit sell in, if I put a limit sell in, I will never put it at the top because you never know. You see how that isn't quite reaching the top? So I always come down and would put it right about there, 97.85, something like that, you know. But so that's to try and get it to, so if it reaches down to the points where I think I'm going to buy or I think I'm going to sell, I never put it right at that line. I always bring it forward because when you're selling, it is always nice. It's good practice to sell on the way up. Don't wait for it to turn and then try to sell because, you know, we're going to have some issues there, right? So yeah, that's what I do anyway. I try to do anyway. This is the tariff thing that just happened. And it went right back into my buy zone. I missed it here. I did not put a limit buy in. I kicked myself in the rear. It went up. I was kicking myself in the rear saying, I lost it. I left it. All right. So then the tariff thing happened. And it drops right back to my buy-in. So yesterday morning I did buy some. You know, as I said, I have a very small account. I don't know if I said that before, but I have a very small account. I do not add money into my trading account. I figure if I can't make it rise with what I have, and if I need to put money in it all the time, then I might as well stop playing this game, you know, because I don't have that much money to play with like that. So I don't load money into that. If I'm going to load money into something, which I'm trying to load $100 a week in, I do it in my Roth. Yeah, I'll do it in that. But this is my game. This is what I play. You know, like some people like to play games. This is my game. Take a look and just bring her out and see if we can. And I think this looks pretty good. So right here are your levels. You can take those and put them against your trend lines. Let's see if we find anything that kind of is collating, kind of collate. Oh, I don't know what I'm trying to say there. All right. All right, so we went from here to here. It went down, and this was our buy-in. This is a good buy-in. Now, it doesn't always go down, guys, all right? So let's look at this. This obviously didn't go down. This one obviously did. All right, let's check this out real quick. Bring it here. Yep, it hit. See how it hit 386? I mean, just barely, but it hit it. It's probably because that should be there, because that line should be right where that first heavy green candle is. All right, so it did hit. If you would have put a limit buy in here, it would have took it right up. All right, but let's say you're up here, and let's say you want to, all right, let's say we're taking it to this one, or even, okay, that's not even close. And I put it up there so you could see that that was not even close. That's 0.618. That's the lowest it went. Let's bring it down to the lowest point. That was trading right underneath the first line at 0.7. What does that say? 0.786, I think. And then it dropped. It dropped bad. Yeah, and she went right back to the beginning, even lower. All right, so but you understand what I'm saying. I mean, the markets have a mind of their own, but this would have been a really good in spot. And then you could have even traded that right up to the high, which would have gave you about $10, $8 to $10. And you could have let it go up to hit the monthly all-time high since you were so close to it. Or you could have just sold there. Or you could just sell here. Depends how many you buy and what you want to make. You could have bought it down here and taken it to the high, the top of this bull trend, the bull trend top. You know, that would have worked. It looked like a lot of people actually did that. Hit there, went down, and was bouncing in between there for a little bit, and then right up, then right down. You know. So anyway, that's my analysis on that. And I just wanted to show a little bit about the Fibonacci. This stock right here is the reason why I changed my whole thought pattern on trading. But you see how these are down here, just kind of in Guamsville all by themselves? Because at one point, if I put this here, that means I was researching from 157 down to 99 cents. All right, so this share went from 157 or whatever down to 99 cents. And if I had this here, then this was the high, 289, and the low was 80 cents. All right, so these are, these are Fibonacci's that I had put in here, but there's no candles anywhere. Oh, I wonder why that is. Because it did a split, 1 to 10. I now have 0.5 shares. 0.5. So I must have had 50 shares in here, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, which means it brought that up. So let's say if I was down here and it split it right here. So I don't know. I'm going to guess. I don't remember. This was last year sometime. I mean, let's give it $1, right? It was probably less than that. It was probably like 60 cents. You know, 60 times 10 would be what, $6? So this would have brought this up to here. And that's, you know, close right here. So the split would have caused this share to go up here, which then it started trading as if, and the whole chart changes. I mean, the whole chart does. You know, I'm just saying this is why I had to reassess what I was doing. Why did I buy this? I believe I bought this because some good news came out that they were, I don't know, doing some kind of a mobile thing. I don't even remember. But there was good news that came out, and everybody's like, oh, this one's going to go up, and this is what you call a pump and dump. Somehow they knew the split was coming. I wasn't paying attention, obviously. So, you know, I ended up losing a couple $100. I think I lost about $150 on this. So this right here made me say, you know what? I'm doing something wrong. I am not going to trade anymore until I figure out what that is. You know? So I finally realized, cost that education cost me about $150. But I realized that I can't trade these little shares. I can't trade the news, the earnings. I just can't trade that stuff. Whether I'm just too busy or just not focused enough on, it's not like I can sit here all day just studying these charts and doing all this research. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a regular person, so yeah, that taught me a lesson. And it's not that I haven't learned that lesson. It's not like I wasn't taught that lesson before. All right. Because this happened to me before. And then when I started trading, I went right back in and started doing the same thing again. You go in and you think that this time you can do it. This time I will cost average correctly. I will put my stop losses in. I will do all the right stuff. And then there's that one that you just don't do it. You end up losing your money. So yeah, I made my money back this year by changing what I bought to be more selective on what I was going to buy into. I'm not mad at this because it actually taught me a good message. I'm not happy about it, of course, but yeah, this is why, right here, this is what got me to change my whole thought pattern on what I was going to trade. So every week I'm going to be bringing out a new, one of my ETFs that I actually do trade. And it'll go right along the index, or it'll go gold and silver. I also do crypto. I try not to do too much crypto because, crypto's dangerous. Crypto is mighty dangerous. My next upload is going to be on crypto. I'm going to try to do that sometime during this week. And that way next Sunday, I can actually do another ETF, index in ETF. But let's say, I don't know which one I'm going to do, or if I'm going to do a lot of them. I don't know. We'll have to see how the video goes. But the video is going to pretty much show my story from beginning to end on me and crypto. And I also want to put some safety things out there because, well, somebody sent me a comment on my other video about crypto, and I really think that people are getting into the space because Bitcoin has gone up so much that they want to play, and I understand that, they want to play in the space. But they're not understanding how dangerous it is. So I think I'm going to do a little safety thing on that. So please subscribe so my videos can come up in front of you. If you're interested about that, make sure you check back. Yeah, you see what it ends up looking like? Let's open this up. All right. Now the yellow that I added in was from 131. Okay, it was 129 that the video was filmed at last week. So it was a couple days later, I went in and added the yellow lines because I wanted to see where the good buy-in would be. We had put the support line here. That would be a good buy-in. But you see what I did here? It's kind of funny. Let me go out. Okay, I put that there. Yeah, this was kind of funny. So on the 31st, I put all these lines in, and I said, this is where I thought it was going to reach for a good buy-in, right here. That was my target. So I just took this, and I put the note, and I brought it out, buy when hits here. And when this tariff thing happened, what did it do but go down and hit that line right away? I thought that was so funny. I saw it. I actually saw it in the morning, hit here, and it was like right about here, I think. And I didn't buy it right away because I was busy at work. And I was like, okay. I came on later on. I said, you know what? I'm just going to buy two. If you see this up here, it says buy two at $27.75. I think that was when I bought in, and buy more later. So if it goes back down, I'm going to buy more later. Let me see. $27.75. Yep, that's when I bought in. Now I buy this in my Roth, not in my individual. All right, because I think that it's going to go. I think it's going to go up eventually. I don't think this is a short-term trade like I had said on the last video. So I'll buy two here. If it goes down, I'll buy more. If it goes up, I might just leave it and buy something else that has gone down, you know, to average cost. Yeah, so I thought that was funny. I put all these in, and that's where my buy-in, and I'd even put that, and then on the 2nd, February 2nd, it went down and hit that line. Now that doesn't usually happen, but I just thought it was funny. And this right here was another buy-in spot right here. So if it goes up and then comes back down to hit that, if you recall from last week, this is what I thought it was going to do right here. So I am waiting for it to hit this right here. It hasn't hit it yet. I bought a couple just in case it doesn't hit it, you know, just in case I'm wrong, which, you know, happens all the time. So I did put the Fibonacci in. I don't even remember where I latched it to. Oh, I think I latched it to just that one. Yeah, I latched it to just that one to see if it's going to come down again, which it didn't seem like it was going to. Because if you notice, let me open this up. Yeah, I had latched it from the top to the bottom on this one big green bar to see if it was going to come down to the 382. And it didn't look like it was going to, so I just bought it. You know, long-term trades like that, I'm not really looking for an awesome buy-in. I'm just going to buy it. Yeah, I'll just buy it and buy more later. It's not that expensive. So I only bought two. Because truthfully, my Roth is out of money. Everything's already invested, so I have to wait for this week's money to go in there. You know. So anyway.